Okay, boys, let's go. Let's get some HTML web development done. Okay, web dev, GitHub, web development, and HTML session. I think I should put these files here. Right. Okay. So, not this, notepad plus plus, and I hope will see. Load a session. GitHub, web design. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so the address field is restricted for providing the address of the author. Then we have header, then we have footer, header. Okay, I didn't add navigation elements, so I can add navigation elements like add an unordered list, with list element as a href nowhere. We'll say 1, like the page numbers. Page 1, and then I can say page 2, and so on, page 3, and so on. So I will just .html. Yeah, no, not here. Okay, then where is it? Okay, header and footer 5.html. Alright. Okay, page 1, page 2, and so on. Okay, so now let's open the book. And basically, let's get okay. Right, so I was here. Yeah, strong for bold, but it has some semantic meaning. Then we had emphasized, yes, and these. Okay, then we move on to the previously presentational elements that are sticking around in HTML5 with fancy new semantic definitions. Okay, as long as we're talking about bold and italics text, let's see what the old P and I elements are up to now. The elements B, I, U, S and small were introduced in the old ways of the web as a way to provide typesetting instructions: bold, italic, okay, underline, strike through, strike, yeah, and smaller text respectively. Despite their original presentation purposes, these elements have been included in HTML5 and given update. Okay, B keyword for keywords or visually emphasized text. Okay. Alternative voice italics. S is for strike through incorrect text, underline text, legal text, small print or smaller type size. Okay. Then definitions. Browsers still render them. Okay. Purpose: these elements have been included in the HTML5 and given updated semantic definitions based on patterns of how they've been used. Browsers still render them as default as you'd expect, right? However, if a type style change is all you're after, using a style sheet is the appropriate solution. Save these for when they are semantically appropriate, right? Okay. Let's look at these elements and their correct usage as well as the style sheets alternative. Okay, bold, keyword, HTML5. Okay, keywords, product names, definition. Okay, B for bold, and CSS alternative for bold text is use font weight bold. Example: P slab I. Okay, we put bold here. I for italic, and it defines indicates text that is in different voice or mood than the surrounding text, such as a phrase from another language or technical term. Okay. It was B is used for keywords, names, phrases that need to stand out from the surrounding text without conveying added importance or emphasis. Okay, and we said font style. इसमें font weight, it used font weight, and here we are using font style as italic. S for strike through indicates text that is incorrect. To put a line through the text, use text decoration. Text decoration line through. Okay. Then we have U for underline. There are a few instances when underlining has semantic significance, such as underlining a formal class, formal name in Chinese, or indicating a misspelled word after the spell check. Note that underlined text is easily confused as a link and should be generally avoided. Right, that is correct. Underlined text and should generally be avoided except for a few niche cases. Property is text decoration. Okay, we used text decoration line through, text decoration underline. Okay, small. Font size renders in smaller than indicates an addendum or side note. What is an addendum? Addendum is a thing added, addition. Okay, supplement to a book, a supplement to a book, often used in plural but singular construction. An item, addendum, an item or additional material added at the end of a book or document, typically in order to correct, clarify, or supplement something. Okay, that's what's up. Indicates an addendum or side note to the main text. Oh, usually what I okay, is that called addendum? The with the one highlighted one, and then we write in the footer. I think that's it. Yeah. At the bottom, small print as a legal small print at the bottom of a document. To make text smaller, use font size. This. Okay, this is a font. Okay, so there are all the. This font is free for personal and commercial use. Helvetica. Short quotations. Use the quotations Q element to mark up a short quotation such as to be or not to be. Short inline quotations, block quotes. Okay, in the flow of text as shown, Matthew Carter says our alphabet hasn't changed in eons. According to the HTML spec, browsers should add quotation marks around Q elements automatically, so you don't need to include them in the source document. And for the most part, they do, with the exception of Internet Explorer 7 and earlier. Fortunately, as of this writing, those browsers make up only 5 to 8% of browser usage, so it is not significant. Okay, so they automatically get short quotations, but Q. Next element. You can apply two elements to a string of text, inline elements. For example, a phrase that is both a quote and in another language. But be sure they are nested properly. That means the inner element, including its closing tag, must be completely contained within the outer element and not overlap. Okay. Then we have nearly all browsers add quotation marks automatically around Q elements. Okay, what have I learned so far? I have learned B, bold, I, italics, strike through, underline, small, and okay, let's I should make old inline elements. Let's create a new document, line.html, and let's open it up here. HTML. Then we'll go with meta cassette PDF-8 and title is old inline elements. We move on to the body. Here what I want to write is old inline elements in HTML. Well, okay, then I'll write some of the inline elements can be inserted in the flow of the text without line breaks. Can be inserted. Okay, let's continue. So with that, without line breaks, some of the elements without line breaks that are still present in the HTML file spec are well, my paragraph hasn't ended. We can just add an or maybe ordered list. Pre-formatted text. This list element is bold is B P okay, bold, italics, strike through, underline, and small. Then we have Q for quote. B or bold, I italics, are strike through, underline, then we have small, and text for addendums or legal docs, Q for quotes. B for bold, I for italics, S for strike through. Okay. Right, Q4. Yeah. So the text. Abbreviations and acronyms. Marking up acronyms and abbreviations with the ABBR element provides useful information for search engines. Seriously, okay. Screen readers and other devices. That is interesting. abbreviation or acronym. Abbrevi- abbreviations, abbreviation. How do you say ab? Abbreviations.
Abbreviation.
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 Abbreviations. 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 Okay, abbreviations are shortened versions of a word ending in a period. Con for Connecticut example. Okay. Acronyms are abbreviations formed by the first letter of the word in a phrase, such as WWW or USA. Formed by the first letter of the words in a phrase. The title attribute, yeah, the title attribute provides the long version of the shortened term. Okay, Point PTS, American Type Founder. Right. So written below is a paragraph containing means being used for abbreviations helpful to search engine. Being used I think it will automatically yeah, it added an extra which I didn't need it. So being used hi, I am Shivang. But sometimes people also write it as Shivang, although it makes no difference to them. However, I kind of like it with a V not a quotes. I want to strike through it, so I put it in a quotes. Let's strike through W. I am Shivang, but sometimes people also write it as, although it makes no difference to them. However, makes no difference to them. However, I prefer kind of like it. I prefer a V. I prefer a V, not a W. And even Mission title equals to Shivang Kumar Singh SKF also works. Shivang Kumar Singh. Ha ha ha. S K S SK Singh. SK Singh, I can put it whole in the underline. What if I added the underlines here outside the abbreviation? It's all the same, doesn't really matter. Prefer, okay, I'll put an underline onto this. With a V, not a W. Shivang Kumar Singh. Okay. Right. Okay, then we have citations. Right. The cite element is used to identify a reference to another document, such as book, article, and so on. By default. Cite, the complete manual of typography. Defining terms. It is a common code defining terms. It is common to point out the first and defining instance of a word in a document in some fashion. In this book, defining terms are set in blue text. In HTML, you can identify them with DFN element and format them visually. Defining terms, I don't understand what are defining terms. Defining. What is defining a term? Consistent with the phrase, a defined term is a word or term often capitalized or otherwise distinguished from other text throughout the reading to include the particular meaning given to it in the agreement. I don't. Okay, let's see. Okay, code. Yes, code. A number of inline elements used for describing parts of a technical document, such as code, sample, strokes, user, program code elements. Keyboard strokes. For me, it is a quaint reminder of HTML's origin in the scientific world, Tim Berners-Lee, to share documents at CERN particle physics lab. Code, sample, and keyboard elements typically render in a constant width, also called monospace, font, such as a Courier by default. Variables usually render in italics. Okay, we can define variables as well. Okay, so I must add it. Cite. I think defining terms, I think I will not ever use them. Cite for citations, DFN for defining terms. Then we have what else do we have? Then code, var, samp, program sample. Okay, then superscript and superscript monospace. User entered keyboard strokes. I would like to see how this case to superscript and subscript. Nice. This is great. Then what do we have next? Highlighted text. Okay. So you have TFN for defining terms. Then I have code for code sample, and then we have var for variable within the code, which is shown as in italics. Then we have semp for program sample output, for programs sample output, and finally we have, what was the last element? KBD skibidi res KBD for user entered keyboard strokes. KBD for user entered keyboard strokes. Okay. Let's break the line here. Okay. Continue on to. I never closed this paragraph, right? Okay. Here's a little code sample that I wrote. Okay. Let's write, hey, session. Okay. So, yeah. I should have. Okay, we'll fetch one of the code samples from here. Let's go. Okay, I want a little directives. Yes. Okay. Just with this, a simple program to add numbers. Is code pre-formatted? That would be interesting to know. Is the code pre-formatted? Let's see. No. It is not pre-formatted. I would have to pre-format it myself. No, better. Then I can give these variables right. It is a variable. The specific tags even here. All my variables are to be marked with the variable tag, and oh, let's see how it looks now. Okay, all the variables are uh, italicized. If you can see it, the variables are italicized. Right. I wonder how. What is this? Can I run this? No, I cannot run this. Okay. But program sample. I know what the program sample for this will look like. Within the code, I can say samp, right? Add 1,4 is 5. Now I don't know how to render this. Add, okay, program sample. It didn't change much, but yeah. So keyboard. What is KBD? KBD. Shivankar. User entered strokes. Shivankar didn't. I don't really understand this. How does KBD for user entered keyboard stroke? How would this tag work? But we'll see. Okay, then we have subscript and superscript operator. Right. Also, then we have sub for subscript and sup for superscript. Okay, I seem to have done something wrong. Yeah, okay. And sub sup for superscript. Right? Yes, sub for subscript for superscript equals to MC square. Then we have highlighted text. The new mark element indicates a word that may be considered especially relevant to the reader. Contextually relevant text. Supported in internet. In the chapter holder, where you're going to do allow you to style it. Okay. Okay, I think the highlight is basically that. Street text. Okay, highlighted text. The new mark element indicates a word that may be considered especially relevant to the reader. One might use it to call out a search term in a page of results. Okay, nice. To manually call attention to a passage of text, indicate the current page in a series. Some designers and browsers give marked text a light colored background as though it was marked with a highlighter marker. Okay, nice. Search terms are marked as mark element and given a yellow background with a style sheet so they are easier for the reader to find. Nice. Mark for highlighted text. Then we have mark for highlighted text. How much time? 35 minutes. Okay. Then I move to also one of my, so I learned one of the most important equation in math, that is E super I theta. How do I put a theta? Okay, how can I put a theta? Theta. Theta symbol. And UTF-8 U plus Unicode. Okay, so I do I put this? Sup equals to, I think it was minus 1 equals to 0. I always forget this closing tag. Let's see how will it look. AI can't I think I can just copy and paste. Unicode version. Alright dude, we'll get there. Uppercase character theta. Yeah, I need this theta to be theta equals to 0. Right. So E I theta minus 1 equals to 0. Let's give a little space. Learn about equals to 0. The most important equation, let's mark important. Mark keywords equation in math as e to the I theta minus 1 equals to 0. E to the power I I pi, okay, it's I pi equals to minus 1 plus 1 equals 0. I was actually wrong. Pi, can I put pi here? Pi, oh, does pi work like that? I I wouldn't know. Nah, it don't actually work like that. Pi Unicode, let's see, pi symbol pi, hey, Looks good. Um, pi equals -1. Nice. Okay. Then we move on to times and machine readable information. Time data. When we look at the phrase noon on November 4, we know that it is a date and time, but the context might not be so but the context might not be so obvious to a computer program. The time element allows us to mark up dates and times in a way that is comfortable for a human to read. The time element allows us to mark up dates and times in a way that is comfortable for a human to read, but also encoded in a standardized way. Okay, the time allows dates and time in a way that is comfortable for a human to read, but also encoded in a standardized way that computer can use. The content of the element the content of the element presents the information to people. The datetime attribute presents the same information in a machine readable way. Okay, nice. The time element indicates dates, times, or date time combos. It might it might be used to pass the date and time information to an application such as a saving. Okay, so we can time element date or date time combos. It might be used to pass the date and time information to an application such as saving an event to a personal calendar. Okay, hold up. Okay, we are back. So it might be used to pass the date and time information to an application such as saving an event to a personal calendar. It might be used by search engines to find the most recently published articles. Ooh, nice. Or it could be used to restyle information to an alternate format. Example. The datetime attribute specifies the date and or time information in a standardized time format. Okay. Time format. Okay, so year, month, and day. This is the standardized format. Okay, note the time element is not intended for marking up time for which a precise time or date cannot be established, such as the end of last year or turn of the century. Okay, time element is not intended for marking up times which a precise time or date cannot be established. Okay, standardized date. Okay, so it would be 2012 year, month, day, then the T. A T always precedes time information. Okay, T, then hour, minutes, in seconds, optional, plus time zone. Doesn't we don't care about that. Okay, it begins with the date. Chalo bhai. It begins with the date, year, month, day, followed by the letter T to indicate time, listed in hours, minutes, seconds, and milliseconds. क्या बात है भाई? Finally, the time zone is indicated. Okay, time zone. Okay, it is important, dude. GMT. Right, R is plus 5:30. Okay, time zone. Plus or minus. P plus hours in minute. Okay. For example, minus indicates the Eastern Standard Time Zone, which is 5 hours behind. Uh, the watt The Watt WCHTML specification includes a pub date attribute for indicating that the time is the publication date of a document, as shown in the example. The pub date attribute is not included in the W3C HTML5 spec as of this writing, but it may be included at a later date if it comes widely used. Okay, so we write the okay. Okay, data. We have time. Okay, QBD super samp site defining them. I think. And after that, hmm, some other terms, some new elements that are included HTML5 spec contains we put a break, then if we put an ordered list, then I want to okay, I think it should change. Some new elements that are included in HTML5 spec contains thus. Okay. The what WG also includes the data element for helping computers make sense of content, which can be used for all sorts of data, including dates, times, measurements, weights, and so on. It uses the value attribute for the machine readable information. Here are a couple of examples. Okay. Update. Okay, date time. To provide date time, let me add the footer to the body. And we say written by Shivang Kumar Singh. How did she write it? Okay, written by, and then the time, then the date time. Uh, date time is okay. Year, month, date. 2025. Month is, then date is 15. Then I say T. Then R. It is currently 18:13. Then time zone plus 5. Okay, plus HH. Okay, so 8:05. Go 05:30. Date time, and then I'll add pub date, then we close it, and then I give it a value. It is 15th Feb 2025 time, right? Then we go on to here. Written by Shivan Kumar Singh. There we go. Can I put this in small? I feel like I can put it in small. The whole thing. Yeah, great. Okay, then data. All sorts of data, including dates, times, measurements, weights, and so on. It has the value attribute for the machine readable information. Here are a couple of examples. I'm not going to go into more detail on data element because as of this writing, the powers that are that be that we are still discussing exactly the powers that be are still discussing exactly how it should work and the W3C has not adopted it for the HTML5 spec. Also, as a beginner, you are unlikely to be dealing with machine readable data yet. Anyways, okay, data value. But still, it is interesting to see how markup can be used to provide usable information to computer programs and script as well as to your fellow humans. Okay. Support alert. Both time are new elements and are not universally supported. Okay. Inserted and deleted text. Machine data. Machine readable. Alright. Data. For machine readable data. Machine readable data. Um, which contains what? Machine readable data contains the value attribute where the value of the attribute to store the machine interpretable data. Okay, 51, right? Okay. Inserted and deleted text. The inserted and deleted elements are used to mark up edits indicating parts of a document that have been inserted or deleted respectively. These elements rely on style rules representation. Okay, that is, there is no dependable browser default. Both the insert and delete element can contain either inline or block elements depending on what type of. Then dull title retired Peter Pan. Okay, how would this look? Just let me see how. Okay, Peterman deleted. Okay. Okay. Ooh, I can do this thing. I can do this thing. Wait. B. Okay, in the body. 30 deleted. So I'll go written by. I can written by. Delete Shivam Kumar Singh. And insert Shane. Okay. There. And F4. Inserted text. Default renders default as underline. Renders default as underlined text. Then we have the for deleted text. And is default as strike through text. Deleted. Shane Williams. Okay. Adding line breaks. I know that. Big line. Okay, Occasionally, you may need to add a line break within the flow of text. We've been we've seen how browsers ignore line breaks in the source document, so we need a specific directive to tell the browser to add a line break here. The inline line break element BR does exactly that. The BR element could be used to break up lines of addresses or poetry. It is an empty element, which means that it does not have content. Just add the BR element in the flow of the text where you want a break to occur, shown here. Okay, so far so good. Accommodating. Right, shalom. Hmm. Breaks, line breaks, yeah. 55. Okay. Unfortunately, the BI element is easily abused. See the following warning. Consider whether using the CSS whitespace property introduced in here might be a better for maintaining line breaks from a source extra markup. Okay. Be careful that you aren't using BI element to force breaks into text. That really ought to be a list. For example, don't do this. Okay. If it is a list, use semantically correct unordered list element and turn off the bullets with style sheets. Okay, word breaks. The word break element lets you mark the place where a word should break if it needs a line break opportunity. Okay, according to the spec, it takes some of the guesswork away from the browser and allows author to specify the best spot for the word break to be spread over two lines. Keep in mind that the word breaks at the WPR element only if it needs to. Right? If there is enough room, the word stays in one piece. Yeah. Browsers have supported this element for a long time, but it has recently been incorporated into the HTML standard. Okay. Word break. Let's see. WPR for word break. Hence the browser as to where a long word should break if there isn't enough room in a single line. Alright, so we have this old inline elements in HTML5. I think I will update it to inline elements. The flow inline elements, and that is the which can be inserted in the flow of the text without breaking the flow of the text without breaking it. Right, okay, so we have this. Then okay, exercise identifying inline elements. This little post for the Black Goose Bistro blog will give you an opportunity to identify and mark up a variety of inline elements. See if you can find phrases to mark up accurately with the following element. Because markup is always somewhat subjective, your resulting markup may not look exactly like the example in Appendix A, but there is an opportunity to use of all the elements listed above in the article. For extra credit, and there is a phrase that should have two elements applied to it. Remember to nest them properly by closing the inner element before you close the outer one. Okay, are we done? We're done. We'll do this exercise next time.